G'day mates, how's it going? You're on DirtByte. Welcome back to Farming Simulator 25 Highlands Fishing Expansion. We're on the Kinlaig map, as that was a map that was included, and you join me as we are continuing the harvest of the barley. So last time we obviously got the MacDon kit. We used that to swath the crop, and now we are using the special header to go through the swath and break out and collect all the grain. Now let's just put this into the trailer as well, because the combine is filling up very quickly with this. The other thing about the MacDon header that's on the MacDon swather is it's over 12 meters wide, so we've got far less swaths, windrows than we had the last time we did this with this combine, the smaller header. And it seems like we're getting quite a bit of grain out of the crop, which is great. So it looks like we have maybe at least two, but maybe 4 or 5 rows to go. It shouldn't take too long. So we're going to get them done first. And then I think we're going to go ahead and sell the barge we've got. So I don't think we need the barge anymore. We've got the offshore fish farm to sell in the fish as they come in. We can distribute our little small trout and small salmon off to the offshore fish farm when they're ready and when we've got that underway again. And I just think at this time it would be more advisable to use that 250,000 or thereabouts that the barge is worth to be able to get the castle stones underway. I'm just assuming that that is by getting a quarry. I don't know whether, so I recall seeing a stone mace as well. I don't know whether I need both, whether we need whether the quarry can do the castle stones, or whether that's more of a bulk materials location and then we need to process them even further at another location. So that's all unknown to me at this point. I haven't really done any research into it or watched any other content about it. I just wanted to discover it all myself. So that's the plan. We're going to do this, finish this off, and then we're going to get that underway before we move forward to the next month. So I think it's only going to take a few minutes to finish it off, but I think we'll do it as a quick time lapse. There's no need to for you to come along in real time. So what we'll do is we'll finish this and I'll see you soon. Welcome back. Here we are. We've got our final load of barley. We've got about 50% in this trailer, which has been pretty good. I feel like we've got a lot out of that field this time. So what we're going to do is we're going to offload this. We're going to check to see how much is in storage. So that's offloading. So we can see that pouring out the back, and it goes through the process here of dried and what have you, and it comes out into here. So like, we've got a significant amount. So that's 80,866 litres of barley. So to actually get this sold when December, January comes around, it's going to take a fair few loads. We may have to get a bigger trailer. And also we've got the wheat. So we've got 41,223 litres of wheat. and we haven't harvested that next field yet. So I'm anticipating that by the time we're finished, I hope that we're going to have close to 100,000 litres of wheat in here and 80,000 litres of barley. If they're, you know, about $1,000 per what is it, 1,000 litres or thereabouts, that's a considerable amount of money. Now, we're pretty much done here with the tractors for now, so let's shut that down. I want to go and sell the barge. I don't know whether I need to go to where we bought it from. We'll go and see if we can sell it here as well. So this seems like it's just buying it. So I wonder if we can sell it via the menu, which I think is in here, vehicles. I wonder if it's included in here. I'm not exactly sure what it's called. Oh, lizard cargo vessel. Yeah, there it is. So its value is 189,000. We can sell it here, but I feel as though I don't know whether we could make more money if it was somewhere else. But I can't really take it back to the shop by the looks of it, unless there's a, like, no, there's no other markings here to say that there's like modifications or anything can be done. So I think we can have to sell it like this. So hopefully if we sell that, we're going to have enough for the quarry. Let's go and find that now and see whereabouts was that. It was in this vicinity. That this one? Yes, it is. How much? I think this was 230, so we might not have quite enough. 235,000. So we are slightly short. I think we can just extend our loan a little bit more. Like, I know we have got a lot, but let's just extend it out a little bit. That'll do. So I do want to buy this. I've no idea what we need, what the inputs are, what the outputs are. I have nothing yet. So let's buy it and let's see. Excellent. So it's owned by us now, and we should be able to see what. So big stones. So we need water and big stones to come out. So obviously the big stones go towards the castle stones possibly. So I'm sure it's on here. Let's have a look to see what the price of big stones might be. If it's on here, big stones. Yeah, so we can sell these as a product. And then the stonemason, see where that is on the map. So here. So this is a stonemason. So we obviously need to get this as well. Because, yeah, it seems like we bring the big stones here and they probably make them into castle stones. And we need 350,000 for that. So, yeah, we're still quite a ways off from getting to the castle stones. However, with the wood, with our crops, with the fish, I think we should be able to get there in the next few months. But I think what we should do first is this place needs water. So let's go and get our tanker. And we will bring over, we'll fill up with water and we'll see how much we get. Obviously we can, must be a sell point for like field stones as well into the bins, or whether we can use them ourselves, I'm not sure. Let's go and jump into, I like this tractor. Yeah, let's take the JCB. It's probably not the fastest or the strongest for moving water and stuff around, but I do really enjoy driving it. I think it's just a cool looking tractor. These JCB fast tracks are unlike anything else in the way of their looks, or even just the dual steer and everything like that. Is they are, yeah, unique, and I like that about them. Like I said, they are probably my, not sure if they're my favorite or my second favorite, because Matthew Ferguson, the brand, is definitely my favorite go-to. That's, yeah, I've always been a Massey Ferguson fan. But these JCBs, yeah, the actual tractors, yeah, really loving them. And the telehandlers as well. probably end up getting a telehandler. Something that I find strange about being on a farm, because there's not a huge amount of farms around when I was growing up that I've seen that actually have telehandlers. It seems more of a European or UK or maybe even American type thing to have telehandlers. I suppose because a lot of farming, especially animal farming, takes place indoors. There's sheds and things throughout Europe and the UK for cows, but where I'm from, cows were outside and they came into the dairy, and that was the extent of their indoor time. They always are always out in the field. That's where they get fed silage or hay. There's not a huge amount of TMR that's used. Dairies do use grain in the one during milking, but that can be the extent of it. So yeah, it's a little bit different, this sort of farming, especially the dairy side of things, in comparison to what I am used to and what I know from our local farming and from what I grew up. But yeah, it's all interesting. It's all new. It's interesting to see how different areas of the world tackle the same sorts of work, the same things. So I enjoy that. Let me just drop this in. We will fill it up and head over to the quarry? Yeah. So I'll fill this up and I will see you over there when we arrive. Welcome back. Here we are, bringing our first load of water into the quarry. What we're going to do is just offload it here. While it's offloading, we're going to jump around and we'll go inside and we'll activate the big stones. And it only takes 5,000 liters of water, and one water gives us 25 big stones effectively. So that's it. We're storing, activate it. So that's all good. We're going to get 360 cycles per month. So this is going to start building up for when we need to go across to make the castle stones. Like I said, I'm just assuming that that's the process, but it's all a learning curve. I don't mind. If not, we can sell the big stones. That's no drama at all. Since that's full, I don't know how we're going to need to fill up once a month. Every cup, if we're going to fill it up more regularly than that, less regularly, we'll just see, just suck it and see, and then how it goes. As we're heading back to the farm and we have got the water tanker on, I'm just going to pull up down by the river again, fill it up for our cows and take it back. I'm thinking that's probably pretty much all we can do in July. We need to have the wheat ready to harvest so we can do that next month, so in August. So once we get back with this, I will give this to the cows, make sure they've got enough food and everything. Same with the sheep. I need to actually check the price of wool, because the wool is building up. So let's check that first. So it'll be down at the bottom here, wool. So it's heading back down. So it's not too bad at the moment, 2,600, almost 2,700. It's not the best time. We can just keep it building up. I just need to remember in April to try and remember in April that we need to sell the wool. So back out of here. I'll bring you back in once we probably move through the next day. So I'll see you soon. Welcome back. When I was driving up here, I realized that there was something that I wanted to get done this month, which is fertilizing the grass field up here, because I think it's going to be very close to being ready to cut again for the second cut next month. So I wanted to get in and get this done. I doubt whether a 900 liters will be enough, but I thought we'll start with that and see how it goes. It probably needs lime as well, which is something that, you know, we can do with this spreader too. So it's so good that it's such a wide working width. Yeah, so it's going down pretty quick. So I'm pretty confident that we're going to need to go and get another bag. but that's fine. We can go and do that. When we spin around, I will put the cruise control on and we'll have a look at the pH as well, because we can obviously do the pH with this spreader while we're here, before it gets to the point of growing and being ready to harvest again. It's actually not using too much fertilizer. We may get away with just doing with this one bag, or the 1,000 litres that was in there. All right. Let that go ahead and we'll have a look at the precision farming tab. And yeah, the pH is quite bad. I'm sure there's a lime. I think this is a lime station. So it's not too far for us to go. So we'll finish doing this fertilizing and then we'll come back and we'll do the lime as well, which will be good. So we'll do that as a time lapse. So hopefully we can get through this field without needing more fertilizer. And if it's only a little bit left, I may just leave it. Save going down to the shop just for a little bit. But we'll see. So I will see you soon.
The land takes back what we put in, sun and rain and everything. Some days you plant and some days you mourn. That's just the way you're reborn. Watch my father work this soil, watched him rest when came the time. Now I'm the one who turns the earth, finding peace in what it's worth. It's all good ground beneath my feet. It's all coming back around. What you lose and what you keep. It's all good ground. It's all good ground. The cattle know when seasons change. They don't fight what they can't rearrange. There's a rhythm that the land will teach if you're willing to let it reach. Some years are plenty, some years are lean. You take the hard with the in-between.
Welcome back. As you can see, this field has taken an awful lot of lime. It was very, very poor with the pH levels. So it's like it taking a full spreader and then another like 40% by the time we just finished this little piece here off. That really surprised me. I thought that it was going to be nowhere near that amount. I thought when I was getting the spreader full, I thought, oh, this is probably going to be enough to start on the other fields as well. I did not expect to go through over one spreader load of lime for that. And each time was about $4,500, so it's quite a lot of money that's gone onto that field now. So that's about, you know, maybe $5,500 worth of lime. And then the fertilizer actually lasted pretty well, so I was surprised by that, which is a good thing. But I think we're all caught up now. The animals are all good. That field has been fertilized and limed, so it can regrow now and be harvested when we're ready for some more grass or hay or silage or whatever you want to do with it. So I'm just going to put this away in the shed, and then we will move on to the next month. So I will see you when we've moved on. Hello, welcome back. So it's the next morning now. It's August now, rather. So we've rested. We're all good to continue with this. So yeah, the wheat is all good to go. As you can see by the yield map, what we have done has improved it slightly. There's still not like, it's probably like 100% thereabouts. It's not in that really high level yield, but I think that has got to do with the soil type, because as you can see, that's really changing now. We're getting that mid to darker green for this section. So yeah, it's definitely the soil type related, which is just all good. That's just part and parcel of soil types and farming and different things like that. So I'm going to go around the headland once. When we get back up to the top, I'm going to check to see how the onions are. If the onions are ready to harvest, what we'll do is I'm going to put this onto a worker. And a worker can come through and do the swathing for us, and we can get started on the onions. And then we can do the collection of this realistically at any point after then. It doesn't all have to be done today. Because, yeah, once it's been cut, it can just sit there for a little bit. Well, in the game anyway. I'm assuming that if you do this with a real crop, you're not going to be leaving it. You're going to be picking up straight away because you don't want animals to get to your crop, and you probably don't want water or other things to affect it. But in this game, those things don't really come into account when it's calculating how much seed or how much grain you're getting from your crop. So, and that's fine. The work we did on these fields to better the yield has really paid off, I think, by the looks of that in comparison to what it was last time. I don't recall if we did the lime. I remember that because it would have taken a lot. So I think that lime is probably the one thing that we need to do this time before we plant the crops again. And there we go. And then there's other yield improvements like mulching and rolling and things like that we potentially could do, but they probably don't add a huge percentage to it. I think they're like maybe 5% each or 2.5% each or something. So it's not a huge improvement onto the yield, but it all helps, especially when you're looking at, bigger and bigger fields. But obviously there's a cost involved with them in the machinery and the time. So yeah, they have to weigh up the options realistically. So let's just park it there for a second. I just want to jump through the hedge into the onion field and see where we're at with that. They're looking good. So these are ready to harvest. So I think what we do is we chuck this swather onto a worker. So obviously we did swathing last time, and we go and get the equipment to lift and process the onions, because that'll be a good job for today. Let's just get the worker going. Start with, don't need to do the headlands. There we go. Okay. And then hopefully they're not going to have any issue starting and getting that underway. So we'll take this big tractor, because I'm sure we're going to need the big tractor for the onion work. So we have to run two separate implements, and they're both probably quite heavy and need that power. I definitely think the JCB would be well and truly underpowered, and I'm not sure if it even has a front linkage. It may just have weights on the front. Look at our cows just sleeping and relaxing, enjoying the sunny August day. Must be a nice life. We're out here hard working and they're just relaxing. So I'm just going to go down to the shop. We'll get all the stuff we need. I'm just going to hire it. There's no need to buy it, I don't think. And I'll bring you back in once we're up at the onion field, ready to start the topping and lifting process. So we'll see you soon. Welcome back. Here we go. So we've got the topper on the front. We've got the lifter on the back. They're not very wide working widths, as we already knew. And this is a big field, so it's going to take quite a significant amount of work to be able to do this. So we need to get the front one selected and down. We're going to need to do this, but the back one in a second. But what I want to do is get some lines going, because we're definitely going to need steer and assist for this. Select the rear. There we go, and away we go with onions. Oh, I see. So with the onions, you can obviously select. Let's have a look. So you must be able to select which side. So yeah, so you can empty them out to the left, to the right, and to the center, I would imagine. So if we just do to the left now, we may be able to then do a lap and then go back in the opposite direction and put two into one, which may be a good option for us to make sure that we are going to be most efficient when it comes to collect them, because we've obviously, once they're lifted, they've dried out a bit, we have to then go around and collect them with one of the new collection machines. Now, I'm not sure about how I want to go ahead with the collection machines yet. The two options are, we can bring up the options while we're going up this way. So we go into onion harvesting. So we have this trailed one, which has a working width of 1.5 meters, a speed of 10 kilometers an hour. This one here has got, oh, it doesn't have a working width. So I'm assuming this is going to be larger or a greater working width, but I'm not 100% sure. But it's obviously a vastly more expensive machine. So those are the options: is do we go with something that is more expensive and maybe a bit quicker, or do we try and go with something that's less expensive? It's going to take a bit longer, but we're going to have to make more profit. I don't really know. It's one of those things that we've never really tried. This is the first time doing an onion crop, so either way I think would be fine for what we're doing. I just hope that with the onions we can actually make quite a decent amount of profit. All right, so we'll just go down here. I reckon like I said, we'll spin around and maybe go back the other way. Try and get them into some sort of double swath. But I think we might as well literally do this as a bit of a time lapse. So we'll bring you back in a little while when we've got through as much as we can do today. So we'll see you soon. Welcome back. So here we are, we just got the final pass of the headland to do, and it's working out well putting them into a central swath like that. I do think we need to clear them off before we spend too much time going up and down, because we don't want to be running over the onions at the end of each run every time. I mean, in the game it doesn't really matter, but realistically it's probably not the best. So I think what we may do, rather than hiring the really big expensive machine, I think we hire the trailed one and we hire a really good high-powered JCB fast track as a tractor to use it on. That way we get to use both, like, two new different types of machines. Both of them are really, really good machines, I imagine. And then we get to trial a few different things. So what we're going to do is, I'm not going to do any more harvesting today in this vlog or this video. What I'm going to do is we're going to lift the front up. What we're going to do is we are going to we ended up pretty much here. First up job next time will be to get the trail behind lifter and the harvester, and we will start by doing the two swaths already done, see how much we get, and then we'll go on to the up and down. So I think that's pretty well it for the day. I think we've covered a fair bit. I hope you've been enjoying the video and the video series on this wonderful map. If you have, please do remember to like and subscribe. And for now, keep your boots dirty and your bites clean, because I'll catch you next time on DirtByte.